So I thought that today, like a couple of things that we would go into do some nitric oxide development through humming, and then also work into our bones. So our immune system is really deeply interrelated with our bones. The lymphocytes come from our bones, and some of them do. And so just I want to tune into that kind of earthy depth of being, but also to our blood, making nitric oxide through humming. And nitric oxide is an antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal. And when we hum, the little turbines in our nose collect the nitric oxide. So, or I don't know how it works, but when we breathe it in, it comes into our heart and it moves into our bloodstream. So humming, turbines in our nose, breath, inhale into our heart, and then into our bloodstream. So it's working in our body. Hold on for 1 second. There's one more thing I have to do here. It's working in our body towards our health. So there we go. That's what we're going to do. And so I thought today we would start with a little bit of hands-on on ourselves with this kind of hands crossing over. Could be like a hug, or like for me, I feel the need to put my hands on my collarbones, which I have been getting a lot of work today because I've been doing a lot of lymph flushing with that. So I just want to start here and just hum. No extra work from the hum. Try to inhale through your nose after you finish your hum. It doesn't have to extend the breath forever, but whatever feels good to you. Tuning into the sense of vibration in your bones, tuning into the sense of vibration in your cranium, under your hands, in your collarbones, just allowing yourself to awaken to that. So we're humming for nitric oxide, hands crossed over, feeling into our collarbones, feeling into that vibration. I also want to offer that we can allow our tongues to kind of undulate in our mouth. So I have these earpods in, and because of that, like I hear the inside of my head a lot more. So sometimes, even if you just stick your fingers in your ear, you can try that also to feel and hear the sound inside your head. Working with the hum for a few more breaths, or maybe a few more minutes. Eyes open or closed, whatever feels good to you, just letting yourself come in for a landing and slow down. Inviting in any kind of micro movement or internal adjustment that just feels good. Just allowing movement to bubble up in your system. So it could be little wave-like movement or undulations or kind of sinking feelings sometimes. So allowing the sensation of being in a body and allowing the body to move, allowing your body to move to really come online. I'm going to switch to hand on belly, hand on collarbones. Could be on your sternum. Inviting your awareness deep into sensation. And of course, feel free to adjust anything, change it completely, do what I'm doing, do something different, whatever feels right to you, listening to your own body. I am going to start to add some undulation. So I'm going to free up my spine a little bit, thinking of the cushy marshmallowy discs inside between my vertebrae. And as I move, I'm just giving them a chance to readjust and become more spacious. Also, the discs are not they don't have vasculature going into the discs. So when we move our body, we invite in the nourishment and the release of waste with the discs. So we're using like micro movement from the spine with the head tail connection to bring in more resilience, more buoyancy and bounciness in our whole spine. And imagining that our spinal cord and the channel of our spinal cord through our vertebrae, a little down the middle, has lots of space. So it's not closing in on itself. If anything is starting to calcify in there, inviting the fluidity of your cerebrospinal fluid and movement to reabsorb anything to create more spaciousness in there. So just a lot to think about there, but I want to throw that in. And let's go back with the hum. Free flow through your spine. If it's tiring to do the hum, you can let go of that. I'm going to go for a little bit longer with that because I really want to get that nitric oxide moving through my blood. Take resting breaths whenever you need them, and just inviting in your highest healing self guide inside the experience to participate with you, informing you with the choices that you make about what you do or don't do. Just letting yourself take it in whatever way is going to be the most healthy and nourishing for you. So I want to also invite in the element of the earth. So like the earthy nature of the planet that we're alive on, and also the earthy nature of the bones, the sort of denser material, the groundedness of that earth, inviting that into our systems in whatever way is most nourishing. So you can also invite other elements in, like we're working a lot with fluidity already and with the breath. So the and the breath are naturally there. But for me right now, like because I want to take this extra step into the awareness of my bones, I'm just bringing in that earth element to connect to structure, maybe form, the biomorphic quality, even of your bones to shift and change, right? As we move, as they weight bear, as our body shifts around, like they are adapting inside. And also this idea that our immune system is working inside those bones to help us stay strong and healthy. And so I'm going to take it down to the floor and get deeper into gravity. And I'm going to add theta breath with that. And we're not going to go to music yet, but we will shortly. So I'm just going to come onto the floor, connect into the gravitational pull of the earth. Letting myself really land. And I'm going to go for slow movement, like slow wave-like rolling movement through my body. Allowing the weight of my bones to really drop into the ground nestling into the gravitational pull of the earth and letting go of any tension or holding around around my bones, right? In my muscles, in my fascia, in my system, in my mind, just letting it be a little more free by inviting in the quality of free flow. Even with this earthy, grounded nature, there can still be free flow. Yeah. And so, like with the earth energy, it's also like the Gaia, the living planet that we live on. It's not dead energy, it's living, vibrant, interwoven with our existence energy. So, tuning to the nourishing qualities of that, right? Our cells, our blood, our bones all know how to form because we live in this environment. So, just tuning into the intelligence of that with theta breath, soft hiss, tongue just behind your teeth, or it could be like a TH sound, like a, or even moving between the and the, letting yourself really slow down, dropping into a parasympathetic state, landing on the planet without having to struggle with gravity, just letting it hold you. We aren't falling off the planet. And I can pour myself around, letting the water in my body move, the extracellular matrix, the sort of crystalline interior of your being, the fluidity, the fascia, all the things that create the form of your body, all the sort of earthy beingness of your body. Even as it's in its emergent form, shifting and changing. And giving yourself full permission to move in any way that feels good. You could have more sort of resistance and pushing and pulling, or it could be really soft and fluid and gentle. And I'm going to give us music to move with. Yes, I have shared sound. This is Jeff Gersh. I'm going to try this one. It's called Unformed. I think I've used it before. You could even imagine moving from the bones. To me, this music has a really spacious quality to it. There's a lot of openness and room within this music for me. So as I'm playing with this idea of the density and the earthiness of the bones, there's also the sense of spaciousness and maybe even lightness with that. We're not shutting anything out of this experience. We're just allowing it to wash over us, to move through and with us. Listening to your own bones. What do your bones tell you? What do you know in your bones? Tuning into your experience of being, being and feeling, feeling what it feels like to be in your body, allowing all of the senses online connecting in your awareness. Letting go of what you think you know to be in the experience of what is actually happening, right? What is actually being felt and experienced right now without a whole lot of story or attachment to story, but just feeling into sensation. As I connect to the floor, like I can really feel the bony landmarks on my body that connect deeper down, right? The harder parts of my body connecting to the harder parts of the floor. But I can still yield into that or pour myself around. So I'm not fighting against it. I'm just allowing this movement. Letting the bones be strong and dense and heavy, but letting them also have movement and life energy, right? So the muscles and the fascia and the tissues can soften and melt, but these strong bones can have the force to move. And within all of it, there's lightness. There's the lightness of the breath. There's a sense of levity of being alive as well, rebounding from the earth. So we have this spectrum of really connected earthy groundedness with fluidity and lightness, all available within this experience. And even in the density of the bones, there's kind of crystalline, dynamic spaciousness. Like it doesn't just mean it's this solid thing. It's got this uh, fibrous form within, holding the structure, holding the strength. And inside of that, the bone marrow. This is all Jeff Gersh ambient fields. I've seen those images of it's like artwork or like AI artwork where there's just this kind of flow of movement, or it's like a human body, but it has this flow and it kind of breaks apart into water or something else and then comes back together and reforms. Invite that idea into your experience, like this forming and un, un, unforming and forming so that we're creating form and then we're releasing form and creating form, or form arises and then form breaks apart. I feel like I've seen pictures of these huge walls of like really organic looking movement at MoMA or somewhere. I haven't been there myself, but I've seen images of it or videos of it. So imagining that kind of movement, sort of this fractal patterning within your own body. Also feeling the all the capacity for the movement of the bones, like the rib cage, the expanding, opening and closing of the rib cage with the breath, but with the movement of the diaphragm and the lungs, and our collarbones and our shoulders and our arms and our hands. There's so much possibility, our pelvis, our legs, our spine. Imagining spaciousness within that. I'm gonna stand up to move for a few minutes. Yeah, this can you can be standing, seated, laying down, however it feels good to you. All fours on your side. really don't know what song is going to play next. Oops. I'm going to change it again. Taking as long as you need to be in any position or in any place, letting yourself really soak in the nourishment of whatever tempo is going on for you, the nourishment of being free in your body to move in any way that feels good. Experimenting with the unfamiliar. Letting go of all the ways you're supposed to move and allowing yourself freedom to move in different ways. And allowing the movement of the bones, the movement of your body to nourish your organs. So for me, I would say that definitely movement helps me feel, helps me sense, helps me know. But the movement might be so tiny, it might just be the movement of the breath. You may want to come back to the humming at some point, or the theta breath, the soft hissing. I've been involved in or was at a Day of the Dead party, and just the bone skull, like feeling into the nature of my skull, what it feels like as it exists in my body, and if I touch it, what it feels like. And also this time of year, this fall in the Northern Hemisphere anyway, we have Halloween and Guy Fawkes Day and the Day of the Dead as we move towards Christmas and the end of the year. And I feel like this earth element is very much about, material being here, the material body, the physical body on the planet, right? It's not transcendent, it's being here. And just the Halloween and the Day of the Dead and everything, just to think into the bones, living or not living, the earthy nature of the bones. Right. So as long as we're alive on the planet, we will be in our body, even if we don't have our whole body. But the chances are you're going to be with your head, your heart, and your guts for your whole life. Yeah. So just finding some appreciation for that existence, this earthy realm. Here we are on the planet together. The pentacles in the tarot, Malkuth in the Kabbalah. Just giving us a few minutes to process the processing in silence, in the silence of your own experience, in the relative stillness of your body. Seated, laying down, however you want to be. be having some compassion for our experience of being alive on the planet and everyone else's experience of being alive on the planet together at this time. But for me, like coming into just the wonder of being in a body is also very uh, nourishing. Like when I can connect into myself and into my cells and just be in the vibration of being, it really helps me deal with every